In today's show, we are going to be talking about mud, blood, beer, and the wrong side of tracks. Stay tuned, I'll tell you more. Howdy, ma'am, partner, and welcome to Utah Crossbow Hunter. Well, like I said, we are going to talk about mud, blood, and beer on the wrong side of the tracks, or road, but both. Okay, well, first of all, let me get rid of these. So, I'm out here underneath the shade tree. It's kind of late in the morning. But I'd rather be out shooting, but I had some things I had to do this morning, so it's a little late in the day, in the morning. Yeah, whatever. We've been getting a little bit of rain, but that's fine. So, where do I begin? Let's start. We went on a drive last week. And I don't know if you guys have heard of these car plays or not, but I got one of those in my truck. It's like the size of a mini iPad. I'm still learning how to use it. So I didn't get the video that I wanted. So I'm kind of doing this off the cuff, as they say. So we went up to a place called Frisco Peak. Nice little drive up there, and we got to a spot in the road that said four-wheel drive only, because two-wheel drives kind of messed up the road a little bit because it is kind of steep and very rocky. So we're heading up this little peak here, go to this peak, and I look in the rearview mirror, and my wife's eyeballs are about that big around. She is scared to death. So, yeah, we had to turn around. And I've had my truck for about 2 years. And I've never had it in four-wheel low. But I start going down this little grade, and I'm riding my brakes. I'm like, no, that doesn't seem like a good idea. So I got down to the bottom of the first curve, and I put it in four-wheel low and went down. I'm like, wow, four-wheel low with this truck is just awesome. So I was excited. It wanted to be for a four-wheel low. So anyways, we got out of there and drove about another 20 miles down the road, took this dirt road, going down it, and we came probably, 15, 20 miles on this dirt road. And I made a right-hand turn to head down to an area called Burl, Medina area. And it's just the road is lined with juniper trees, just lined, they're all over the place. Hadn't seen a soul in probably an hour and a half when we came across the side-by-side with a couple people in it. And we kept on going. And I came to a spot in the road. It looked like a good spot to let the kids get out and stretch their legs a little bit, walk around. And I was over, pardon my language here, doing my business. When all of a sudden, this big old lightning bolt came down and set my hair on fire. Well, not literally, but because I got no hair. Anyways, I looked at my wife and the kid and says, load up. Rain is coming. So we've hit a few sprinkles here and there, went through some mud puddles. And it was pretty neat. A couple places I decided to go ahead and put my truck in four-wheel low and go through here as a SUU plane flies over. You guys probably can hear it. So anyways, we're driving down and wait for the plane to pass. We're driving down and my wife decides she's going to get out with the two girls and they're going to run. Okay. So they're literally, my daughter's literally going through the mud. And she's got mud all over the place. So we came up to the other peak and I look over and I'm like, oh, it's getting darker. I said, let's load up so we get going. So we're going. And I come over this knoll and down and I see this patch of approximately 100 yards of nothing but mud. Lots of mud. So we're going downhill. So it's just a slight, probably 2 to 3 degree slope. And I'm slowly braking and sliding. Instead of my truck going straight, it is doing this. It's going sideways in this little mud hole. So I stop, knowing that was a big mistake to do. And this is what I was hoping I'd catch this whole ordeal on my CarPlay. But one problem. I'm still learning it. So I didn't catch anything. But anyways, my wife and the girls decided to get out and they're going to walk this. Because I'm at about a 50-degree angle in this muddy hole. And spoiler alert, no blood, no beer. I was driving, so no beer. I just remember the Johnny Cash song, Boy Named Sue, where son and dad are fighting in the mud and the blood and the beer. That's why I decided to call this Mud, Blood, and Beer. I'll get to the wrong side of the road here in a moment. So I put my truck in four-wheel low, put it in first gear. I crossed my legs, I crossed my arms, I crossed my toes, I crossed my fingers, I crossed everything I could cross, including my eyeballs. And the only thing we didn't do is we didn't film it. Yeah. So I hit the accelerator and the truck starts moving sideways. And as it's moving sideways, I'm getting almost a 70-degree angle, going sideways down this muddy area. And I'm throwing and slinging mud everywhere. My son and me are having a blast inside the truck. Just a wonderful time. So eventually, as we're going through it, the truck starts to move forward and starts to bring the front end around. But we're still going up about a 3-degree incline. So I'm still spinning my tires and throwing mud and everything everywhere. We get to the top of this little knoll, and that's where I decided to stop. Not paying attention to the surroundings around me. I get out and I look around and I'm going, yes, we made it through. Because out there is no cell phone coverage. None whatsoever. So that would have been one heck of a walk to find cell phone coverage. So I got stuck. Anyways, I get out of the truck and check out the truck, and it's just covered in mud. I'm just laughing. And so were the cows. I could hear them mooing all over the place. They were just laughing their heads off. So I wait for my wife. She catches up to us. The kids' feet are just covered in mud, so we cleaned them off. And we head on down the road. We get about 2 or 3 miles down the road, and there's this house out there, and I do mean the middle of nowhere. I'm sure it was a ranch house where they come out, once in a while and stay out there and herd their cattle or whatever they do out there. So we load up, we go on down the road and hit some more mud, and I'm splashing it everywhere. And here comes another plane. It's not directly over yet, but it's still out there. But anyways, we come to a spot we stopped before, had some lunch, and we're watching the clouds come in. But we really never got any rain. You can see where it rained pretty hard in some areas. So a couple of days later, I talked to my cousin who's kind of an area expert out here. And we were talking. I told him where we were at and told him I had me a bull tag. And he goes, "Bro, you're on the wrong side of the road. That area is a limited hunt area." I'm like, fantastic. So I have a general hunt tag. So he told him, yeah, you gotta go to the other side of the road. Cross over the railroad tracks. So I'm like, oh man. A day wasted. Well, I'm not gonna say a day wasted. It was fun being out there. It was fun getting my truck just trashed with mud. So yeah. That was the extent of my first day of scouting. Even though we didn't see a doggone thing. But yeah. So I got some areas to go check out back here behind me. A few miles. Actually, I'm going to go down the road about 15, 20 miles down and then take another road back. I've taken that road before. That's a pretty decent road. And then some areas I got to come back, double back on some roads to get back up in the hills where I need to go. But I thought I'd bring you that story. Yeah, because it was quite interesting out there. There's a lot of mud, slinged a lot of mud, and it took me an hour. Yeah, about an hour to clean the mud off my truck at a car wash. One of those do-it-yourself car washes with the high-pressure hoses and all that kind of stuff. But man, the mud was just caked on there everywhere. So, yeah, this is the reason I'm bringing this to you is if you got a tag, and it was my fault for not checking on it. That's why you call an area expert to help you out. Because I've never had a bull tag before. So, yeah. Well, that was exciting. We spent all day out there. And again, it was a nice drive. I mean, I'm not going to deny it. It was a very nice drive. So, again, check your tags, know your area, and check with people who know the area about your hunt. Whether it's a deer hunt, elk hunt, bear hunt, whatever. It doesn't make any difference. Always check. And that was my mistake, not checking first. So whether you check with an area expert, with your local Department of Fish and Game or whatever, always ask questions. Whether it's your first time out, your 100th time out, always check to make sure you're in the right area. So, yeah, that was the extent of our first scouting trip. And I found a lot of nice areas out there where I could have found some bulls. But, yeah, well, that's the way it goes, as they say. Cookie crumbles. So I hope you guys got something out of this a little bit. And, yeah, mud is mud. And make sure, and here's the thing too, and this was something, if you watch any of these off-road recovery channels, and I do watch them, The biggest mistake people make is going out in those areas by themselves. And I was by myself. That was a mistake. Or at least let somebody know that you're going out in these areas. So if you're not back in time, they can always send somebody out to hunt for you. So I learned a few things. Some I already knew and just blew it off. Didn't think about it. But yeah, it was quite interesting, a lot of fun. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And remember, these episodes are dedicated to my son. And see you on the next episode of Utah Crossbow Hunter. Oh yeah, let me back it up a little bit here. Hit that subscribe button, that all notification bell. Leave me a comment and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, so I almost forgot. So thank you again. See you next time.